Good evening, everybody. Yeah, I know. I already messed up. I was trying to move something. Come on and take a seat. Welcome to the Red Hair Inn. Uh, Tonight, as we settle down to figure out what this lovable group of misfits has in store for them in the Winter Court. Uh, where we last left off, the five party members Finara, Oak, Art, Corvus, and Eden lost the party member, Perrin. Uh, with a deal made to keep Perrin's body from decomposing, they struck out for the Winter Court in order to find the reason for Oak's sister's coma. I guess magical Fey coma. They ventured into the Grang once more, where they were met with a riddle telling Fae who knew of had some relation with one of Eden's sisters. Uh, After outwitting that Fae, both in tests of brain and brawn, the party continued onward, meeting a man who also somewhat spoke in riddles, saying it wasn't quite their time to meet him before moving back on into the graying and out of sight, to Corvus's frustration. Where we pick up, the graying now taking on the colorations of winter. The trees start to be layered with this thin frost, leaves falling from trees, dead and dying, and the soft crunching of snow underneath your feet. You're not quite out of the graying yet. You can see before you a vast expanse of white as the snow seemingly goes on to the horizon. What would you like to do?
First thing and foremost, before I forget to do this,
Mm-hmm.
because I will, there are two things. First of which is I want to get that handy dandy bracelet out that Buddy gave me. The one that's supposed to mask my Fey origin thing, just for safeties. Puts that on, because
Okay.
that no is a thing. And then I would like to make a general perception check as to I don't know if it's perception or it's insight, honestly. Just the vibe, the like I don't know how else to explain it. Is like, do I feel like we're in danger? You know what I mean? Like, I want to feel like, does this feel like as we're coming in, like, does this feel like a hostile environment, or is this just more regular Fabius? Like, I'm fine with regular Fabius, or does it feel like, see what I mean?
Make
Like,
either a nature or a arcana check.
okay, okay. Which one am I gonna probably neither one of those. Oh, hey, okay. Right.
Oh, I need dice.
Yeah,
Shit.
I did not get mine out either. So that's what this is. That is rolling them online. Okay. Yes, the dice maker didn't get them. Okay. That is Arcana for a 17.
As you begin to enter this almost fringe space, we'll call it. The one thing you do notice is that the wind is picking up. It's biting a little bit more than you're used to. In the fall court, it was rather neutral. It was the weather wasn't horrible, um, but here the wind carries a cold with it. The snow beneath your feet, for anybody who is barefoot, starts to sting a little
I,
as the warmth feels like you're being pulled from you, or it's being pulled
I,
from you.
I do remember I did put little plant bits over my feet last session Just that's
Just
totally
on the
gonna
bottom.
protect.
Yep,
No, like
totally gonna.
protect me from the fucking
Was that
cold.
over everyone's feet though?
I can only make, I mean, I can make some, but then they'll die. I don't know. I've got, we should have gotten dressed for the weather.
But your immediate thought is that while from an arcane standpoint, it's colder than even the colder winters that you've experienced, which are very few, Eden. As you were in the Briar for the majority of the time, and the Briar didn't really have winter. But for the rest of you, uh, this is
I don't think
definitely one of those
Oak
colds.
has any
Oak,
experience
you
with
would
the
no.
cold.
Oak. It is
Between living in the
significantly
spring court in a
colder.
tropical island.
Yeah, yeah. Oak, you have no idea what like you're stepping in. You're seeing this. This might be your first snowfall. Similarly with you, Fanara. I mean, there's snow in parts of the Isles. If you were to go on Ish, if you would have gone farther inland toward Ish Alto,
Like at top of a mountain or something.
the mountains have snow. But where you lived in the Oasis, there was nothing. There was nothing like this. But to answer your question fully, the wind doesn't feel natural. It feels like almost like it has a mind of its own as it's whipping past you all, almost in like a very flowing kind of motion, but in a way that almost bites and stings your skin.
Does it feel targeted or is it just everywhere?
With your role, it doesn't seem to be you. I mean, you may take it a little personally, but it doesn't
I mean,
seem to be. It seems to be a natural effect of this place.
especially using my little cloaky bit to try to keep warm as we were walking.
Yeah.
I had to change the setting. It just didn't work for what was described.
No, that works. That works almost perfectly. There are a lot of like even as you're coming out of the graying here, you can see lots of evergreen trees taking up the edges of this space. You go ahead and actually everybody go ahead and give me perception checks.
Natural 20.
Oh my gosh, that was first roll of 2024.
Oh,
Well, Taryn got the first roll.
Well, I'm saying for you.
For me, yes.
That's a good roll. All right, Eden, what'd you get?
that will be a 20.
And Art?
Which is not as high as I would have liked.
9. Good. Finara?
YL.
12. Perfect. Oak?
23.
23. And Corvus? A bajillion.
21.
Oh, wow.
I rolled low.
Art and Finara a little a little bit more focused on the cold that is around you on your feet and starting to kind of overtake your arms and legs. Eden, Oak, and Corvus, the first thing the three of you notice is what seems to be this kind of it's almost the size of a small tree, but it has this pale white mixed in with like spots of gray, kind of molted skin, walking over a slight like snowdrift to your guys' left, maybe about 200 feet out or so.
Would we have any idea what that could be with a natural 20?
With a natural 20, I would say the thing that you notice is that it has these tusks that come down from the top, almost like a walrus. But the coloration of the whatever this is, skin or hide, it almost seems rock-like. The ears are kind of pointed and folded back down along the side of the head. Elvish-like in appearance, but not quite. Based on the size, maybe some sort of troll. Maybe just a really tall elf for an Eladrin, but from where you're at, you're not quite sure, even with a natural 20. There are a lot of things you haven't seen in this world.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Eden's just going to make sure that everyone is alerted to that telepathically if they are not aware of it. We'll also kind of like, because I know like Eden was holding Art's hand, we'll kind of like slow Art and kind of like begin trying to like stealth a little bit, just kind of implying like proceed with caution.
I'll say the second thing you guys see too. Sorry, because I said the first thing y'all see and then never followed it up. The second thing you guys see is this soft twinkle. What would be directionally, I guess you're like northwest-ish, in the sky, kind of similar to like, what the northern lights would look like, but it looks more like a reflection rather than like something that's waving and moving, right? Like just like a consistent twinkle, like strobe lights almost.
It's a sort of like when you're like flying or something and you see the light pollution against the clouds.
Yeah, it's more of that than just like naturally occurring. Yeah.
Is there a way to do like a some type of check, like for Fanara to see if it's not something that looks natural, or maybe she read about potentially?
Go ahead and give
what it is
me,
or what's causing it.
Give me a history check.
Oh my goodness, these rolls. Yeah, that's a 3.
Get him out now.
It's a 3. Welcome back, Fanara.
With a 3, you're like, oh, I think I might know what it is, and you're thinking there for a second, and then next thing you know, you're thinking about how cold your toes are, and just lose kind of concentration on it. There's not much. You don't know much about cold places. All the warm places of the world, you probably know a little bit more.
Fanara would then, once she is distracted, like a little fish, she's going to try to go into her bag to try to find some of maybe if it's like I imagine that she probably held on to her brother's things, so she might use some of his spare shirts and make them into booties, perhaps, since he's not going to be needing his shirts right now.
Okay. Yeah, you dig into his clothes, pull some of his thicker shirts on.
Purchase
start
something,
wrapping them around
pants
your
or
feet.
something, whatever she can use to make like makeshift little boots. Because they don't carry boots with them because that's not how they roll.
No.
But that's probably the closest thing.
Yeah, 100%.
Here,
I can do that.
can I help with that?
Oh yeah. Do you need something too, Art? I think that Aaron might have some more stuff in here.
Well, here, I also have this. I don't know if this will offer some better reinforcement for it, but let's see here. And Art's gonna rummage through his sack and finally manage to dig out the bug carapace that he got from a million years ago, and is going to use that to create a sole for the makeshift shoes.
That'll 100% work. Even has a tiny bit of insulation now that it's like paired with the cloth. Makes you a nice little pair of snow boots. Yeah, 100%.
I'll make sure to replace them so Perrin won't be upset.
Eden slow turns in the snow and is just like, because Eden has plant feet right now.
There's probably enough left that I might be able to make one for you too.
Um, anything would help.
I'm gonna
Actually,
take some time to try to make a third pair.
Sure. Go ahead. Just for the combined effort of making these two, make a Tinker Tools check for me.
Are we able to bust out the tinderbox?
if this fails, I'm just gonna turn into a cat.
That's gonna come out to 25.
20. Yeah, no problem. You are able to, over the course of maybe about 5 or 10 minutes, you're able to whip up 3 pairs of these boots for you and for Nara and Eden, using the carapace and the remaining kind of cloth of parents' clothing.
He's
You,
gonna be really mad at us. You know that, right? He liked that shirt.
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that he would understand under these circumstances. And we'll definitely get parent all the nice clothing, whatever he desires once
we'll get him a
he's
nicer
back.
shirt.
Yeah.
One with fairy wings?
Of course.
I'm still trying to figure out the whole fairy things.
It was all. There was a giant guy, and I thought they were suspicious of parents, so I said he was a fairy, and it was a thing.
Plus,
Well,
let's be real. Having the fairy wings on the shirt would definitely make them much more functional.
Well, I was just thinking it could be kind of like a flowy cape, likes to perform.
My other thought is if did we bring Perrin's bedroll, because that could give us insulation and a lot of extra material.
That
for-
was a lot to carry. I don't know that.
I didn't
I don't know
have
that we
that,
did.
unfortunately. I do have the tinderbox, though. We could try to make a little, like a,
I think I
Light
still
some
have a couple
fire.
torches in here somewhere.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Just random junk just coming out of the bag, and as I scroll down my list trying to remember, I do in fact have a couple of torches. Oh, here we
Eden,
go.
the moment the first one is lit, Eden is just gonna stare at it.
Art's gonna start just
It's just following the torch.
starts like skipping around with it, just bouncing around.
Eventually, we'll just grab the torch and hold it, and then we'll walk with it and stare at it. Like,
Are any of
Picture
you,
this art just like dangling from
Yeah.
it as you put it out.
are any of you used to all of this frigid air and is it normal for these parts, or I don't?
And so we've like stopped, right? To like
I think we're
do-
kind of
Yeah, you guys are kind of in a, like, you found a decent place to just kind of hunker down while you're doing this, yes, but you're still like on the fringes of where these more coniferous trees are, and like the beginning of these like evergreen style trees. Yes. So there's enough cover from the evergreens for you to be able to kind of just slink back and hide a little.
Corvus has just been doing squats.
Well, I guess we're ready to go. Then
Does anyone else need a torch?
I think. Oh, sorry, Art. And
What?
put the torch.
Actually, I have my own torch, and I'll just light mine from yours.
Oh, there we go.
Also, we'll be wrapping Grim like a scarf as best we can.
Squats.
Oh, do you have any more leftover cloth, or did we use it all?
No, I definitely have some more stuff here you can use.
Art's gonna take a little bit of it and bundle up Dulcar inside the bag just to make sure that he's nice and snugly in there.
Make a
Alright.
sleight of hand check.
18.
Make an attack roll using your dexterity.
Oh, okay. Gotta actually check that.
Unless you're using a spell for it.
No, that would be too much thought. There's not enough thought. That's a 14.
14. Um, as you're standing there getting ready, you light your torch, and as you go to pull up the torch, a snowball just hits you directly in your chest, Oak.
It's so cold. Why would you do that?
Aiden's just like standing there behind Art, like pointing down at Art.
Corvus.
What
Do
happened?
I believe that? Oh shit, I do believe that. Art, why would you throw snow? It's so cold.
That was very much the wrong trajectory to come from me. Here, let me give a demonstration, and Art's gonna.
Aiden's gonna like we're just gonna shove Art like over.
Into the snow?
Not hard, like not like into the snow, but just like boop, and then we'll just start skipping onward because we should be going anyway. So Aiden's just gonna be like, Dad.
As you turn
I
to
feel-
skip onward, Corvus, noticing something while the rest of your party was taking their time preparing for the winter elements, you head out of this patch of evergreen trees toward this small snow mound where you can see what look to be about 5 penguins kind of waddling up to the top and then sliding down, most of them wearing various colored cloaks. As you approach, the couple on the bottom kind of like straighten themselves, and like they go up maybe to your hip, right? They're no taller than maybe 2-3-ish feet, and they crane their necks a little bit. Yeah, they're about Art height, and they kind of stand up tall and kind of crane their neck toward you, and look at you quizzically.
Dude, I'm just gonna like. Is there one that seems maybe important, prominent?
Make an insight check. We'll go insight.
Damn.
Can't let you use perception for everything.
I was animal handling as a preferred, but that's a 23 with insight.
A 23. As you're sitting there kind of pondering, like looking over the different individuals, you see one in this bright, almost like maroon cloak come sliding down, and as they stand up, you can see while the others have almost like these like pebble buttons that go down the front of their kind of white torso, this one has a bow tie.
Acknowledging that one, Chorus is just going to give like a 1/4 bow to acknowledge, and just kind of motion like to mouth words, trying to see if these things can talk. Feywild's full of wild things, so
Yeah, as you kind of bow, and you notice that they raise their hand, and unlike penguins that you know or have heard of, at the end of this penguin's hand, you can see 3 little fingers and then like a thumb with these little tiny black claws on the edge of them. And as you say words, it looks you dead in the eye for a minute before saying, yes, we do speak.
are you of the court or just of the cold?
We are we're friends of the court and friends of the cold would be the best way to answer your question. We are not from here, though. No.
Have you, perchance, seen a very tall orc with an owl bear cape walk by recently?
And he's thinking for a second, and then one of the smaller ones, or one of the other of these penguins, pipe up. The great penguin came by. The great penguin came by.
The gray penguin.
No, great penguin. He was massive.
Oh, a great penguin.
Taller than you, yes.
But he was a penguin.
There was a penguin of immeasurable size. Yes.
Came through this path.
Yeah, and
Cool.
the little one points, and you can see like in the snow, maybe about like 40 feet away, just this giant divot. Like they make these little tiny paths, and there's a path that is probably about like 6 or so feet wide that carves through this.
Do you think he's going to the Winter Court?
He asked for directions, yeah.
So maybe we could follow that track. Is he friendly?
I mean, he was us, yeah. Chased off a yeti.
What's a yeti?
Oh, you see, and the one with the boats. I just allow me, and reaches mentally, telepathically to you, Eden, and shows you a picture of like a mental image of what a yeti is. This giant, arguably probably about 8 to 10 foot tall monstrosity covered in thick matted fur. Horns curling up to the back of the head, teeth razor sharp, just kind of barreling down on the group of these penguins before the great penguin kind of stepped in front of them.
Oh, that's really bad. I don't like it.
They are
Like what?
Yetis, they're bad.
Does it
I'm
look like the
sure.
thing we saw before?
No, it's big and hairy and has big teeth and horns. Probably smells bad.
So not as adorable as our new friends here. Okay. Understood.
No, do you fly? I read somewhere that you guys could fly.
We have the ability to fly, although it is not natural. No.
But you can.
Under the right circumstances, when we are on our ship, yes.
Ship? Like a boat?
Yeah, yes, it's a boat. Yes.
Insight check.
Go ahead and roll an insight check.
Okay, that's a bunch.
That's a fun.
It's getting hard to math this at this point, okay? And also I'm all paper. So that is gonna be... Where's my insight? Okay. 17 plus 8. Don't make me math.
25.
25.
Thanks. Still a long
Says,
time.
says 4 other people here. With a 25, there's a degree of truth in their words. You're not hinting that they're lying to you, just wording their answer in a way you would understand would be the best way that.
Yeah.
Of your group, do you have warriors, fighters, or otherwise soldiers?
The little one just kind of looks, and this little one has like a green kind of coloration where the hands are and where like around the fringes of the face and like chin. No, we don't need warriors where we come from.
Which is where?
And I'll point up to the sky.
That is quite vague.
I told you they see that do fly.
The astral sea, and the larger one will. We are travelers of the of the astral sea. We
What's Corvus?
And like Corvus literally will actually take a hand and be like, Shh,
Oh, what
how,
is?
how how did you arrive here then?
on our ship.
Which
I
is
would-
where?
It is docked isn't the correct word because they don't have a dock here, but we landed it outside of the outside of the Ice Queen's palace.
You have the means to simply depart from here to the astral sea.
Yes, the Fey realm is one of the many planets in which you can travel to, is it not?
It's not a matter of that fact, but you have the means to do so through your vessel.
Yeah, yes. We depart and we go all manners of places in order to secure different trade efforts. Yes.
Oh, I have a very important question. All right. I have never traveled on the astral sea, but I'm curious. You know how some people, a select number of people, get kind of sick on water?
Mm-hmm.
Does the same thing happen in the sky or the astral plane? Can you get sick?
He kind of looks at the rest of the group, and they all kind of just like look around. The couple of them are like shrugging, and I have never met somebody who gets sick while traversing the astral sea, but you never know.
Oh, so
There's-
I wouldn't need Steve. Ow!
There's definitely a weightlessness
Hmm.
to travel.
Interesting.
Very much love to see this ship.
Hmm.
Why are you here?
To do trade. We have a small ship. We're unloading some cargo, uploading some cargo from the Ice Queen, and then we'll be departing back into the Astral Sea to the next place that we're going.
Most important question, how far is the journey from there to here? Because it's cold and I've never been this cold before.
No more than a couple hours, if you're
Really?
lucky.
Oh, that's the best news.
Yes.
Thank goodness.
That's quite close.
Yes, we traveled here while they were unloading our ship. The best sledding is here. Well, or
Penguin sledding? That
yeah,
sounds-
or there's like a fringe space between the elemental plane of air and water where they kind of just makes the perfect ice. But here is the best snow.
Also, Corvus, I thought it would be important time to tell you that I definitely have a scroll, thanks to, our friend Dolus, that will take us back whenever we're ready. It's like Eden will then like lean back.
My intention was not on methods to return to the material.
I mean, okay, so question then, and this might get into philosophical things. So, if the astral sea is actually connected somehow to the Feywild, and the Feywild, the planet is a planet, it's the Feywild is a planet, then isn't everything technically the material plane, and all of that other stuff is just words that mortals from, Ecriom and places use to describe things they don't understand fully?
What's a material plane?
See? See? Maybe I'm not the crazy one here. Okay, I'm just gonna throw this out there. Maybe I'm not from another dimension. Maybe all of this is just a way of life you don't understand.
Things are layered, stacked upon one another. I speak of the layer identified as the material and most familiar in what Ecriom stands to be. which is neither here nor there.
But
My
it is
point.
somewhere.
Wait, layered like onions?
Thank you
What?
for your time. As Corvus like turns towards the large penguin, steps and like makes slow strides with the full intention to like it's like we're done here.
Thank you
I'm
guys.
only trying to understand.
Thank you. And before we depart, Art's going to make sure to take one of his jars and scoop up a scoop of the best snow to stash for later.
All right. Question. Okay, very specific. Where are you storing that snow? Inner pocket,
storing-
outer pocket, close to your
Inner-
chest, close to your armpit.
It's gonna be inner pocket.
Okay. Noted.
Art, why did it look like you peed yourself?
No, he's putting it in a jar. It's safe.
It stopped.
Just won't be the best snow anymore.
Oh, wait. Hey, little buddies, do you happen to have, since you are in the art of trading, warmer clothes for me and my friends here? And then you just see Fanara's like basically just shivering, like she's like trying to do like a strong, confident pose, but like her arms are just like just just seriously just like covered with the like freezing bumps and whatever hair standing on end.
What do you have to trade?
That is a good question.
Ooh.
What do you guys like? Or like how does the trade, how does that work?
I mean, if we're giving you something that is valuable to you, then something valuable in return is typically how trade works. Do you not have trade where you're from?
We
Yeah,
do.
well, I mean, not everybody likes the same things, you know. Some people might like gold and silver.
What-
Other people may
what about
want
that-
handmade goods, you know.
What
Um,
about that gem? And he points to the one that you wear around your neck.
Oh, no. I could never part with this. I'm sorry.
Well,
Oh, okay.
I have pulls out the emerald magic pen. What about this? You can write and it turns invisible and is only visible by the person you want it to be visible by.
Can I?
You can, as long as you give it back.
And he takes it. Gunther. And the little green one walks up. And he looks like he's writing on the chest of Gunther. And then says, "Turn around." And he turns around and this little purple one walks up and just pushes Gunther on the ground. This will be an acceptable gift, yes.
All right, that works then.
And he reaches in, like he goes like and like lifts up his cloak, and you can see there's a pocket in the cloak, and he reaches into the pocket, and the pocket almost expands and pulls as he pulls out 3 of these kind of thicker down jackets that he passes to the, or how many do you need? 4? 3? 4? 4 down jackets. Passes one to each of you.
Appreciated.
Thank you.
You're very.
I'm envisioning Art being almost like Arthur in Sword in Stone, where the coat is just way too big for him.
Well, I was actually thinking
Well,
because they're
as he-
also tiny.
Well, no. So they have like full travel size, like where like they're pulling. He pulled out but what happens, Art, when you put yours on? He goes, "Here, let me get that one back," and he takes that, shoves it back in, and he pulls out this onesie and hands it to you. And as you like hold it up in front of you, it's like a legitimate like penguin onesie.
Oh my goodness.
Art.
That's
This
amazing.
was made
Dons it on.
from. This was made from the hide of my great grandfather.
Oh.
It's extremely valuable.
Your great grandfather's very, very warm.
He yes, he kept me warm while I was a child. As an egg.
I'm
Oh.
just shocking that you're just parting with something like that. That's very
Yeah,
generous
that
of
that
you.
seems very I couldn't even part with my gym. Also sorry, Eden. This is just I'm
No,
sorry.
I figured you've never taken it off, so you know.
But thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for the trade. And if your friend needs services to the Astral Sea, make sure he knows that he can find our ship and can request at any time.
I will find you a ship.
But thank you very much. We should probably catch up. Corvus likes to leave us alone and talk to random bad guys. And then Eden will start with
You
Grim
grab
now
Eden's tail,
snuggled. Yep.
just waddling along in his little penguin onesie.
Oh God.
when you crest this hill, it's now when you see it sparkling on the horizon. You can see spires of glistening ice reflecting light. You're not quite sure from where, but light from the peaks of those towers into the sky. A soft wall of snow encircles the what you guys now can assume is the Ice Queen's palace. And since you can see it, you can begin to head there, following the paths in the snow that this giant penguin once trod. Corvus, make me a survival check, please.
23.
23. After about 20 minutes, you notice that the penguin feet, this little these longer waddled strides, first one foot and then a second foot turn into a booted foot. The size diminishes, not by a whole lot, but the footprints get slightly smaller, and you can see that behind where normally there was just kind of like this patterned, I guess like penguin butt that just kind of pushed through the snow as it waddled. You can see almost like the shifting of like something being dragged very lightly across the snow top, likely a cloak or some sort of like cape.
But it still seems like giant-sized feet.
Larger than your feet, yes, but not larger by the stand. So the penguin was large for the standard of like art size large, right? Like it was a great penguin to these very little penguins. The boot prints are probably maybe a size or two larger than yours, but they're not like massive. No.
Okay. Corvus pays no mind and continues just a slightly faster than necessary approach.
Okay.
Feel like Oak's in on the slightly faster to keep warm. Get somewhere, maybe with heating, although who knows.
Yeah, Corvus got a very like strong strut, occasionally doing some high knees.
Why can I see my breath coming out? I feel like she's got like the snot running down. I just
Corvus,
I think
like cold experience.
go
you know,
ahead
like-
and Corvus, go ahead and give me a Constitution saving throw.
This against anything particular?
Yeah, it's fucking cold.
Oh, it's just cold? Okay. We're gonna burn. Oh, the dice not nice. That's an 8.
An 8. As you've been holding yourself very, very well against the cold. And as you are now moving from, ankle, just being on your feet to now ankle deep, then knee deep, the snow is starting to get to you. You may not show it on the outside to, save face, but on the inside, you are freezing.
So I'm starting to feel cold.
You suffer
if I
1
start to
point
feel
of
that-
exhaustion.
If I feel that level of cold is actually starting to hit,
Okay.
I won't even get to the point needing that con for that level, because I'm just gonna be like, I'm gonna grab the sword breathe. And I'll turn on the flame tongue's sword and use that for my flame.
This is less about a flame and more about the fact that like having a light source or having a source of like sustainable fire, and is more about the fact of like you wear a breastplate, a sleeveless breastplate, and like shorts.
I wear pants. Whoa.
Okay, you wear pants.
We
Pants,
asked
tuck
how
out
many
the
jackets
boots.
were needed, okay? You said
What?
you didn't even say anything.
As an actual person who goes in tank tops in below.
Listen,
like,
as somebody who agrees with you, I don't disagree.
But there's a
But
point
no-
when
but
walking
there's
through
a-
knee-level snow.
Yeah,
That is
listen,
that's
but
a lot.
I went out for 20 minutes to go get the snow off my car, and my fingers were freezing. Imagine if I didn't have a jacket on, right? So you'll
if
suffer
it's that cold.
one point. You could it out.
Corvus don't like being uncomfortable. Faster. Corvus is just gonna go.
Okay, fine.
I feel like
Or
at
just
some
like-
point, Art,
Um,
if it's knee level for
Yeah,
that's like up to your shoulders for Art. So I feel like at some point Art's getting put on the stag because it's just too deep for him to walk
well,
through.
that's what I was gonna say. The moment like Art starts slinking down, all of a sudden there's just gonna be like Eden's just gonna kind of like fall down on all fours, and then her arms and legs are gonna like do some weird crap and like spider split, and then there is an ice spider that will just pop up that has little icy pink antenna and like Art is now atop an ice spider, which they're
Art
quite
is all for
large.
this. Eddie is not.
Yeah. They are quite large, but we are now ice spider with Art in a penguin suit.
I want to see that fan art.
Wait, so
Uh,
where is this on Fenara then? Because Fenara's taller than
you're
Art, but like hip level?
you're
Your
welcome.
clothing or the spider.
This,
No,
the
not the
snow.
spider. the snow.
Oh, the snow.
She's still small, but
No,
not like
because
that
it's
small.
like knee height for Corvus, so would be
Like 5'3".
about the same. Yeah, Corvus is only slightly taller than you.
Yeah, Corvus is 5'11".
Okay.
Which I think as Eden goes, like Eden will kind of like, looks over towards Finara, like,
Finn, do you want to ride on my stag?
Oh, if you're not using it, sure, thank you.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, I'm having. I think a dress in the snow. It's not the right wardrobe choice, but so I might need some help.
Oh yeah, here, let me just, and then she'll just like grab you by the waist and like heft you up.
Blush immediately.
Mhm. That moment of like face-to-face level and just like
Corvus, as you continue to push forward, the others kind of climbing onto the backs of their various beast companions, or being helped up. You notice that the path diverges from being like straight on toward the castle, and it slopes down this snow mound and to the right. Do you follow it, or do you continue straight on?
So the penguin path, or the not penguin
The
path?
now not penguin path, instead of like continuing straight on toward the castle, seems to dip down into the snow mound, like as the snow mound kind of crests as a hill down and like around, following it.
I know I move faster than my companions, but I shouldn't be too far where I can't point out the fact that the trail goes one way, but it seems like the way where we're going is the other way. And quickly turns. Choose. Very annoyed, as you can see the mild like tench on the sword to hold back from shaking from the fact that it's starting to finally feel cold.
There is some weird clicking that comes from Spider Eden.
question. Can we tell, maybe with the survival check, how recently those tracks have been laid?
If you'd like to, go for it. Yeah, 100%.
The 13.
I'd say with a 13, right now it's not snowing. But gauging by how deep they are, and like you can see that there has been like a lighter powder over the top of like other areas around you. Maybe a handful of hours. Maybe a little bit longer. It's hard to tell.
Yeah. All right, all right. Unlikely this person would be within like 1,000 feet or something. I mean,
Only one
if
way to
we
find
were-
out.
Yeah. Mm. Does the foot size look plausible for owlbear's feet?
Yes. Yeah, they're big. They're owlbear big for you. Yeah.
I vote follow the trail. Although I feel like you should have been here long. I don't know. Yeah.
Corvus doesn't need more than that. Corvus goes that direction. Again, quick in pace, but also dragging this, like occasionally dragging the sword in the snow, so that way they'll know which way he's going in case he wants to go faster.
Dang it, I'm not that fast. Yeah, no, Spider Eden's not any faster, but we're spidering.
Oh, looks like he's going that way.
Just, I'm not even a fan, Eddie. It's okay. For some reason, ice spider was my first thought of cold.
No,
and
listen, you
it's
you
brilliant.
get cold resistance.
Art's
That's
forward,
huge.
and he's
That's huge.
I'm
You
one
can-
level away from it.
You continue on, following these footprints. And then you hit a point where you can see Corvus leading the way. You can see the sign of blood. You can see where like the movement of feet becomes a little bit more kind of frantic and like displaced. You can see a patch of snow where it seems that whoever this individual was had fallen over, and where like they stood back up, there was a patch of blood. The other thing you notice is that you can see the dead grass in a patch of snow maybe about 10 feet from that spot, as the feet continue to go downward and then curve along this snow mound until eventually you can see the mouth of a cave, like made of ice, like an ice. Yeah, it'd be more icy, kind of like a almost igloo-like, set into the side of this snow mound.
Corvus is uncomfortable, so Corvus does not hesitate to go forward.
All right.
Gonna go into this mound and kind of keep an eye and follow what's in here.
As you push forward, you can see Eden as well. Well, actually, you all can see a very faint firelight coming in from inside. What looks to be a handful of sticks kind of burning and like almost on embers.
Spider eyes shimmer just for added effect.
Regular eyes don't.
Now that we are this close, I am gonna cast Locate Object on Owlbear's signature Owlbear cloak.
Owlbear cloak.
Yeah.
It's behind you.
Not in the cave?
No. It's maybe about 30 feet or so behind you.
Okay, I walk to that.
Where you walk to is just a giant drift of snow. Stick your hands in.
Yep.
Eden is
Bear trap.
spider following.
No. As you reach in and pull out, you can like it's a pretty hefty object. Like it's a full pelt of an owlbear. And as you lift it up, it's just it's snow covered. It is it's slightly like kind of frozen stiff. but you have Owlbear's cloak in your hands.
But no owlbear.
But
Not
no.
Okay. Well, was that near like the scuffle?
Yeah, that was maybe about, so if the scuffle would have been like 50 feet farther than that.
Okay. Well, I think that's enough for me to go towards the firelight from there. I assume
Yeah.
Corvus already walked in though.
Yeah, Corvus is already
As Corvus,
in there.
as you rush in, who is with Corvus right now? Eden, are you following Corvus into the cave?
I would have.
Me.
I gotta say, Eden kind of followed. Like, I'm not gonna let one of the party members just walk out into the snow by themselves.
Okay.
So, at the very best case scenario, Eden is at the mouth of the cave.
Okay. So as you turn back around, Corvus, you enter on the opposite side of the fire, tucked into this alcove of what looks to be rock and like covered with sheets of ice and stone. You can see a huddled mass of what looks to be a giant half-orc.
like a breathing mass.
Can go give it a look.
I mean, if it's large, I want to, I guess, just immediate glance. Do I see any like expanding?
You can
form?
see a little bit of like movement and shifting in the body.
That's all I need.
Yeah.
Is this cave big enough for me to walk on the ceiling? I'm very
I-
large. I figure I'm kind of scrunching through, to be honest, but I wanted
No,
to
the
know.
mouth of the cave is about 15 feet high and about 10 feet wide. So it's enough where like you could be hanging upside down and you're not bumping heads with somebody.
Oh yeah, no, Eden immediately does this. So
What
now
about Art?
Art
No,
Art
like-
is still on
Oh,
your
Well, no, like-
Art full on clings on to the abdomen with both
All right.
legs.
well, that's it. Like Eden starts to do it and gives like Art a
Course.
minute to reposition. But then now Eden is coming, like, so that Art is basically like here now, as Eden is like kind of like having the fun spider time. Like there's like
Oh,
this,
so like I'm in between Wall and you.
yeah, like you can, you're small, but it's one of those things where Eden is like doing this ceiling spider thing of like, oh my god, I can do this.
And as you climb up the side and almost like carnival ride corkscrew up and around, so your back is now facing the the floor of this cavern. As you hit the edge where this now turns into a much larger cavern, it's maybe about 30 or so feet wide. Corvus rushes up to the body. You turn the body at least around so you can see the face of this grizzled half-orc. His one eye is like swollen shut. Looking at his clothes, you can see there are scorch and burn marks covering parts of his body. His breathing is raspy. You can see slashes across his forearms. And as you flip him, he just goes, Did you get them? As Eden, you hit the main portion of this cavern and go to start climbing on the ceiling when you notice coiled above the fire these two large blue centipede-like insectoids that, as Corvus flips over the body, slowly starts to pull their heads from whatever slumber that they were in and gaze down at your friend.
Okay, hold on. Telepathically. Okay, I have one action, right? Basically. Okay.
I would say, yeah, we're at a point here.
Okay.
with certain
Then
words will be said.
I will use my icy web on the first one. That is gonna be a dirty 20 to hit. Range of 60 feet-ish, if I can do that.
Yeah, you're within 60
The
feet.
target It says a hit. The target is restrained by webbing and takes 1 cold damage at the start of each of its turns.
What was
As an
your
action,
What was your attack?
dirty 20.
A dirty 20. All right.
If it hits, the target is restrained by this icy webbing, takes 1 cold damage at the start of each of its turns. As an action, the restrained target can make a DC 12 strength check. Yeah, so it's not the most potent webbing, but we started it. So that's
I will say that you,
if it hits.
when your web coats this thing, and you hear this clicking, I can't do it, but this kind of clicking hiss start to emanate from its mouth, and what you watch is that as the head tries to reel, your web begins to sizzle as the body of this creature seemingly begins to melt your web.
Yeah, it says the webbing can be attacked and destroyed of an AC 10. So, vulnerability to fire. I know this is going to surprise you.
No, it's not. I'll give you 1 Arcana check.
Okay.
Because you're actively perceiving this.
15.
15. Your attack didn't hurt it. This creature didn't move to strike your webbing. It's almost as if whatever this thing is much hotter than your web. And as it coats it, just immediately steams and burns off of it. And that's where we're going to go on a quick break.
Cool.
We'll be back in about 5 to 10 minutes. We'll get into some initiative here. Go do your things. We're going to go do ours. Drink water. And we'll be back soon.
Testicles.
Balls.
Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger.
Can I help your balls?
What?
Oh,
no.
no.
First of all, the line would have been, "Can I take your balls?" Not, "Can I have your balls?" God.
Stop fondling the balls and let's go.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
We missed Joe.
Boy, I
As-
missed the gaggle boners. Can we go back to that age?
You want to go
The
back to
gaggle
really?
boners.
You want to? That was almost a TPK. You want to go back to that?
Yeah, to the gaggle, not the gargle. Let's go.
the gag.
I mean, the gaggle of boners was easily wiped
Oh my
out.
God.
Easily
All right,
Yeah,
wiped.
exactly.
Now we have
As the-
now we have danglers from the ceiling, okay?
Yeah, the gaggle of boners that were flaccid for a long time.
Does your chain
Yeah.
hang low? Does it wobble to the flow?
Oh my God.
Does
All right.
it
Can you
Shut
tie
up.
them in a
Shut
knot?
the fuck up and
Can you tie it in a bow?
As these blue
Oh,
burning
fuck yeah.
centipede-like creatures begin
Oh,
to uncurl from the ceiling.
Insect balls.
And they
Oh,
don't
God.
have, they're insects. They don't have balls. I mean, I guess they
You
were
don't know that.
ball-shaped. You're right.
Do you
I
know
don't.
D&D
Oh my God.
morphology?
What they
Fuck.
were curled into the ball shape when Eden
Oh shit.
came across them.
So there were
oh.
a pair of centipede balls.
As
Exactly.
a-
They were shriveled up because of the cold, and then they got warm. Okay,
As-
I'm gonna stop.
No, you're good. As a reminder, I believe Art and Corvus, and maybe Oak. I know I had handed out 3 potions, my invisibility things.
Yes, and I've yet to use
Y'all-
mine.
Mine got used.
Yours got used.
Art did, yes.
Yeah, but just remember you do have those before I forget that they exist. Okay, cool.
And it's invisibility with an action. We can actually go back invisible
Back.
for a minute.
Right.
Yes. Let me double check and read
I
that
remember
for
because I
y'all.
wrote that down as a
Yeah.
high level spell.
When you do it, your flesh shifts and changes to camouflage with your surroundings. You become invisible for the duration, which is 1 minute. Anything you wear or carry is invisible with you. The effect ends early if you attack or cast a spell, but you can use an action to return to the effect.
All right. Art,
Just so y'all know.
What'd you get on initiative?
Got a 6.
Nice. There's at least one of these going before you. Fenara. Corvus, I got your
11. 11.
11. Eden.
21.
21. And Oak.
11.
11. Can I get a rollies, please, between Finara
See,
and
that
Hope?
works. We're together.
Both y'all roll a d20.
13.
17.
All right, so we'll go. I think that works. Yeah, that works. All right, Corvus. Why is that shifting colors? That's creepy. It's like a strobe light next to your name for initiative. It's really bad. It hurts my eyes. As this orc looks to you and asks if they're gone, if you killed them, and glancing upward, you look up as this web is shot from Spider Eden, covering the creature closest to the entryway, and then immediately just kind of sizzles and burns away. What would you like to do?
Do I have a moment to identify, without, let me know the action economy, to identify why or how it sizzled away?
I would say in this moment, it would take your action to try to come to that conclusion.
Okay. How far? So they're right now they're up.
They're
so
on the ceiling. They're beginning to kind of peel off the ceiling, or at least like look down toward you guys. The one that got webbed is looking towards Eden, while the other is still looking down towards you and this orc that's on the ground.
that makes them 20 feet from me.
Yeah.
So my vertical is not that high. How far? High jump is 3 plus my strength modifier.
Correct.
Even
That sounds
if
right.
I shift over, I can. That's a 8-foot vertical. If I okay, yeah. First, bonus action. I'm gonna let my key surge out as the black wisps of smoke form out and create my skeletal draconic like appendages. And I am going to use my astral self's wisdom bonuses strength to jump up. I'm gonna just jump up outside of their range, so I'm gonna jump up like 14 feet, I guess, to be just outside of their 5-foot melee, assuming that's what it looks like they have. And I'm just gonna do a double spin kick to get 2 attacks off against it.
Okay.
I have a 10-foot range for my unarmed.
Yeah, so you would jump 10 feet in the air and then punch the remaining. Martial arts, and the remaining 10 feet. Yeah.
Yep.
We can do that. Go ahead
All
and roll. Go ahead and roll your attacks.
First attack is 22 to hit.
A 22 will hit.
And I'll just roll a second. It's a 15 for the second one.
A 15 will hit.
Okay, so 7 force and 10 force for a total of 17 points of force damage. And then I'm going to add 3 point. No, we're not going to burn anything else. We're just going to keep it at that. Key point for that. Jump, attack. Yeah, that's all I've got then.
As you punch, or as your astral arms punch into this creature and kind of concave parts of its carapace, you start to see bits of this orange liquid fall out. And as you land, and it kind of drips down on like either side of you and splashes onto the ice there, you can just kind of see it melts away where that ice is until it meets where the stone is.
Okay. And I realize I summoned my astral arms, and if I did that with the vertical, that would still put them in 10 feet, and I can make them make a dex save against the force of the arms being conjured.
Which does what?
And they have to give me a dex save, or else take force damage as the arms actually are launched out.
Is this as? Oh, okay, this is as the arms are out.
Yeah.
Are you gonna use the my rules clarification would be: are you using the wisdom to get your jump height?
I don't have to. I forgot my boots.
Okay,
allow me to triple my jump, and that's why it still works out.
What's the roll again? Sorry, dex save.
It's gonna be a dex save. Yeah, dexterity saving throw DC 15.
That will fail.
Okay, they're gonna take
additional force.
It is 2d6 force for 6 points of force damage. I'm assuming if they're both within 10 feet, it's for both of them, unless it's just the one if they're like
no,
too
it
far
would
from
just
me.
be you'd only be able to get one or the other.
Then yeah, just that one takes an additional 6 force.
6 force? Cool. Yeah, and again, just kind of at this point starting to drip this like orange goo that falls to the ground, and as you land and look up, it is now kind of beginning to coil down towards you. The body in between, where like the legs are directly under the center of it, but the body flares out almost like the what is it? The dinosaur that killed the fat dude in
Oh.
yeah, you know what I'm talking about. R.I.P.
Yep.
But flares out on either side of the body, so you have this like very singular, like small center, just as on either side, colorful and blues and oranges. Perfect. With that, we go to Eden. Should I say Spider Eden?
Spider Eden is terrified. My icy web does not recharge. I will, being very well aware that Art is perched atop, we will kind of, like, if this is the cavern and we're like here getting ready, we're gonna tuck back and start to come down. Slowly, like letting Art adjust to where we are ground level now. And then I will bonus action come back. I am no longer Spider Eden because that's not going to help us, I don't think. And also Eden has better things that we can do now that are not involving this. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I would like to cast Call Lightning. And I would like it to blanket the top of the cave? Maybe? Or, because, like, that's what I want to hit him with Call Lightning. I've wanted to cast Call Lightning for so long, but I don't know. Hang on. I have another spell that might be better. I don't agree that it's a better spell. Okay, screw that. We're just gonna go with an oldie but goodie because I don't know how that'll work just yet because they are on the ceiling and I need to strike them with lightning. So we're gonna go with an oldie goodie that I haven't cast in a very long time, and we're gonna cast Briar's Reach.
Okay. Go for it. And that's multiple attack rolls, correct?
Yes. Okay, that is for this one because I'm casting it at 4th level. This is 4 attacks.
Okay. Go ahead and make your 4 attack. Are you just going against one?
We're gonna start with the first buddy that looks like he's doing rough.
The buddy that Corvus kicked?
Yeah, yeah, because he's looking a little poopy, or is it just like not a lot? It was not a lot, was it?
Yeah. It was something.
Yeah, we're gonna start on the one, like, we know how this works. We're gonna start going after the one that Corvus is. That's only a 13 for the first attack.
A 13 does not reach.
Okay, well, does a 22?
A 22 will.
Okay. My second attack will be a 19 plus 5, 24.
19 plus 5 will also hit.
Or, sorry, 19 plus 8.
Yeah, that will also hit.
And that is a 23, so 3 hits. Okay, cool. I haven't used spells in so long because I've been a barb. So the first one is 3 points of damage, and I need a strength saving throw.
All right. 3 and a strength.
Yeah.
That's going to be a 14.
That is a failure. That one is restrained until the end of their next turn.
Okay.
Then it is 7 points of piercing owie.
On the same guy. Cool.
Yeah, and
Still
4 more points of piercing owie.
All right.
It says the target can make a strength or dex save as an action on their turn if they want to try to break out of the restraint.
Now, question: this is piercing damage, right?
Da 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 da. Take piercing.
Okay.
It is magic.
Mm-hmm.
Magic piercing.
You
Owie.
watch
Anyways,
as you cast these thorny vines out toward this creature, and as they wrap around, and the thorns stick in, you can start to see the drops of the same kind of orange blood, we'll call it, seep out, and you can start to see wisps of smoke around your thorns.
don't like that. Don't like it. But that is my turn.
You
That
did
is
have
both.
you did have three of them connect though, so that's a
I
good thing.
did. I just really wanted one of them to stick and restrain. That's all I
And
needed.
he only succeeded on one, so that's fine.
Yeah. So him restraint. Okay. But that is my turn because movement, bonus action, and action.
Perfect.
I'm not barbing anymore, guys. This feels weird.
Art behind you as you or dropping art behind you as you do that. Perfect. Finara, you're up next. What would you like to do?
All right. So we've established that these creepy dudes, crawly dudes, are 60 feet from me.
From where you are, you can't quite see them as they're like tucked in on the roof.
Okay, but
And you guys are currently
basically
at the mouth, but yes, they're within
Okay.
60-ish feet of where you would be. Yeah.
Okay, Fanar would kind of go further within, like in the entrance area, but still like a distance away from the direct action. Also to in order to do what she wants to do. So as long as she has visual, there will be that the mist of like this golden spectral energy that forms into the form of her spiritual weapon that we have all known and loved, the image of Avandra, floating to basically be within range of this the whatever one that basically seems to have been damaged at least by the others so far. And yes, hopefully Avandra swats this thing because that's basically what's going to happen
As
to try to do it.
you run in and the mist kind of apparates around you as you bring the familiarity of the moisture and water around you to create Avandra, it goes to smack at this creature that's been bound by Eden and kicked by
Yes.
Corvus. Go ahead and roll your attack for me with advantage.
Oh, yay.
Yeah, it's restrained, so you get fun
Let's
stuff.
go. All right. That is a 26 to hit.
Yeah. Yeah. That'll hit.
For 7 force damage. I wish it was more.
7. Perfect.
So
As
SWAT,
a-
like
Just like a bug. Just like, get out of
Like
here.
a bug. Get outta
Swats
here.
it right on the face, and you can see a little bit of this orange, like goo, still on Avandra's hand as she pulls it back, and like the mist begins to like. It almost burns away a piece of Avandra's hand, but the mist kind of reshapes back in and around it. No problem.
And then since that was my bonus action, in that same moment, like Fanar reaches out and kind of does like a flick with her finger in order to basically cast Sacred Flame. So I need a dexterity on that same exact
Which
buggers.
I believe is also a disadvantage because he's restrained. It's the same roll, so a 14.
Definitely does not make it. So this is actually going to be a blessed strike. So that's 3d8 for damage.
Perfect. 3d6 is Sacred Flame.
My Sacred Flame is 2d8, but I have
shit.
blessed strike. Yeah.
Oh, smack. All right. Go for it. It's like, how the hell is it d8s? Oh, shit.
Yeah. Okay, and that is 15 points of damage. Radiant. Oh wait, you're muted, I think.
That one's starting to look rough. The carapace is cracked in multiple parts of it. The thorns are kind of compressing up against it, and it's just letting out these like blood curdling and chilling screeches every single time you hit it. No exception is this beam of radiant light just completely annihilates it. Oak, your turn.
Okay. How close did I get back after picking up the cloak? Like, am I like 30 feet from the cave and I start hearing fighting?
You guys were at the mouth of the cave when this fighting commenced, so you've seen Eden come down with Art. You've watched as Corvus has jumped and kicked up at something. Fenara rushing in this torrent of like mist creation and beam of holy light. But yeah, you're about 30, give or take, like 20 or so feet from where this cave, like where you are, to where it would open up into the cavern.
So I'm probably looking at the situation. I'm like, they've got that. So Owlbear's lying bloody on the floor.
And yes, Owlbear is lying bloody on the floor next to Corvus, like behind where Corvus is. Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna run to Owlbear and be like, Owlbear, oh, what happened? And I'm gonna lay on hands for what would a reasonable amount of points be for how hurt he looks? 20?
You tell me.
I'll do 20 points of healing.
All right. You watch as the wounds begin to close. You see spots on the arm where there are some cuts and burns that begin to slowly get healed. And he looks. Oak. I tried waiting.
For me?
Yes.
And then these things?
Got me on my way to this cave.
Your cloak!
and he's, all right, you're just like, he just kind of nods and says, yes, it's my cloak.
Glad I got here when I did, I guess.
I didn't know. And he like looks toward the fire, which is now burning out, and it would have only been a matter of time.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else for your turn?
Probably more than 6 seconds, so.
No, anything else for your turn? Anything else for your bonus action?
Oh, bonus action. Let's do Shield of Faith. Well, Corvus is next to me, but I feel like he doesn't need it. You know what? I'll do Warding Bond on Owlbear to try and prevent more damage.
Perfect.
In case they try and get back.
What does your warding bond look like? Like how do you manifest it?
That's a good question. I feel like maybe there's a shimmering green light that sort of like settles over both of us. Maybe just like the barest hint of like leaves and vines, and as it just sort of like settles over you and like sinks into your skin.
Okay. You watch as it almost conjured, just kind of melds with Owlbear. And he has a brief sigh of relief as the creature that is not currently entwined is going to rush toward the one that tried to spider's web it now changed and is going to shift and move and follow the ceiling to where it meets the entrance to this cavern and then just fold down in front of you, Eden, and is going to attempt to try to bite you. Does a 17 hit you?
Yes, it does.
So you are going to take... That's a d12. That's a d10. That's a d10. Uh, 26 points of piercing damage.
Did we get a lot? We did. Okay. I didn't take that down.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
26.
you have a long rest. 26 points of piercing and 5 points of fire as this thing burns into you.
Okay.
We then go to
Ruh-roh, Raggy.
Art.
Yeah, so, do these creatures trigger any sort of recollection to me from anything that I may have studied in the past? Would I have any knowledge on these creatures?
Make a history or a nature check, your choice.
We're gonna go with history for a synthetic 20.
You would know that these things are called remoras. They are insectoid-like monstrosities that are oftentimes found in more frigid temperatures, making their home by burrowing into the snow and ice through use of their own internal heat. These seem a little bit small to be the ones that you've heard about, leading you to believe that these are probably on the younger edge of these creatures. But extremely deadly, are known to have a fiery bite, and could potentially cause some harm to those who try to hurt it.
Would I have any knowledge as to what they would be susceptible to?
I'd say no. I mean, you would imagine fire probably won't help them, or probably won't hurt them. Maybe not cold, but other than that, anything standard probably should work.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Then I'm going to now we have got one on one side of the cave and one at the entrance of the cave, if I understand correctly.
There's one at the entrance, maybe about 10 feet from you, as Eden and Finara are both kind of closer to the where this cave lets into the cavern. But then another one is currently entangled by some of Eden's vines and thorns, and Corvus seems to be handling that one pretty well.
Got it. Cool. Then I'm going to go ahead and face towards the one that is currently at the entrance, and I'm going to reach into one of my pockets and pull out my cast iron and pull out what seems to be some very, very rotten food that looks like it probably came from at least several weeks ago in our adventures. I'm going to chuck it around in my pan for a little bit before slushing it on over at said creature in front of us. Can creature please make a dex saving throw?
Sure thing. Where's my die? That'll be a super low. That's a 6.
A 6 will fail. This food is highly acidic and is going to deal it some acid damage and continue to deal it acid damage on its subsequent turns.
All right.
This is going to start with 3 points of acid damage.
3 points of acid. You watch as it burns through the carapace, and like when this orange liquid that you've been seeing like ooze out of it begins to emerge. It mixes with the acid and almost just kind of cancel. It looks like they almost cancel each other out.
Like as in it's
No,
not bleeding, or as in it doesn't seem to
no,
hurt?
like more like a. It seems like it hurt it, just that it doesn't seem like the goo inside of this creature is splashing out like it
So it's
did.
almost like it's burning and cauterizing at the same
Yes,
time.
yeah, it's more
Got it.
like it's
Okay.
cauterizing. Yeah.
Well, these seem a little on the small side from what I'm used to.
Anything else
And,
for you? Art?
I guess, let's see. Bonus action, I guess we are going to... Who else is... So I got Eden near me. Who else is near me right now?
Eden is in front of you, and then Fanara would kind of be next to you or to the side, slightly.
Is Eden currently between me and said creature?
Correct.
Great. Then I'm just gonna go ahead and hang tight right there then.
Perfect. With that, we go to the one that's on the ceiling. It's restrained until the end of its turn. Okay. Then what I'm gonna have it do is
It can use a dex or strength save as an action to break out.
yeah. You know what? Yeah, I guess it will. You know what? It's gonna try to rip through the vines here. No, that didn't help. 12? No.
Nope.
And it
That
can't,
DC is a
it
16.
can't move. Then yeah, it's just freaking stuck there. Nice work. Corvus. It is pissed off that it can't move though. Like it is not screaming, but chittering, and has like these occasional like super high pitched screeches that it gives off. But Corvus, it goes to you. You see Oak get to this orc behind you and heal and protect him. What would you like to do?
And the one I was attacking, you said, had slightly dropped towards me more.
It no, it wouldn't have been able to because it was restrained.
That's the okay. So
yeah, that's the one that was restrained. There's another one that came down off the ceiling and is currently over by Eden and Fanara and Art.
what's the distance between those two things? Like how far from each other?
Say like because it's about 10, 15 feet up, and then 30 feet ish, Pythagorean theory style. Yeah.
All right, so they're too far from one another then for me to do. So then, yeah. Since it's restrained, I still have to jump to get my vertical. And we're gonna go ahead and go for some attacks. Then we're just gonna keep it simple.
Go for it.
And it's that's a natural 20 for the first hit.
Jeez. Yep, that'll hit.
So the damage for that is 12 damage for the first attack.
Perfect.
It's restrained, thank goodness.
Now, are you using your full jump or are you using your? Because
my base jump.
You can add, your base jump is like 10 feet, right?
My base jump is 3 plus. It's 8 feet, but I have a triple jump because of my shoes.
So how far up are you jumping? Is the question.
I'm only if it's still. I'm trying to keep myself outside of 5 feet of it.
Cool.
So I'm keeping myself at 10 feet.
At the punching range. Cool.
Yeah, to punch without prompting op attack on my drop.
Cool. Yeah, that works.
So the second attack is 28 to hit.
A 28 will hit.
That is going to be 11 points of force.
11 points of force. It's again continuously dripping. At this point, you're just cracking through carapace and like making holes where they shouldn't be.
We're gonna do a very Matrix style flurry of blows while I'm still in midair.
All right. Just
Let's see. Ah, rude. I'm gonna spend a key point to boost that to add 2 to that to make that a 15 to hit.
a 15 will hit.
The damage for that is 7 points of force.
7 points of force.
All right,
All right.
and then the last one is 23 to hit
23 will hit.
for another 12 points of force damage.
And as you go up for the second bout at this creature, its face, you watch as the vines begin to unwind from it as it begins to reach out and try to bite you, and you just made, like you said, Matrix style, bend backward in your jump, and your arms just go as quick as lightning, and just punch holes into this thing. And as the mouth goes to shut, it lets out a quick or a one last just kind of, and then the whole body just falls from the ceiling into the ground on your feet as you land.
And the other one is about 30 feet, so it should be fine. I'm going to like take I'm gonna close the distance a bit to keep it within 15 feet of me,
Okay.
and then kind of like get crouched for my next approach if it's still standing as I'm charging up for my next thing. And that's
Perfect.
the end of my turn.
Perfect. Eden. This thing is now face to
Okay.
face with you.
Yeah, that's my problem. Okay, I've got two courses of action here. One of them is definitely smarter. Um, One of them would be good. I think in this moment, Eden will like hear Art, like behind her will look back and then look forward and like hold her hand out in front of Art, like purposely between creature and thing. Basically, we're not gonna let like her posture kind of like stay, like she's definitely taken a horrible hit and does not look good. We'll kind of like correct her posture and look at this thing. um I've been studying life and death an awful lot, and I don't think I'm gonna let you get anywhere near my friends. And like as she says this, like the like blue irises will kind of just wash over in the burgundy color that the rest of the eyes are. And like as she says this, some like burgundy smoke kind of gray stuff starts to pour like off of her hands and like out of her mouth. Like we're going super witchy vibes. It just starts to kind of pour off and out as um we are going to cast. Yeah, we're gonna cast. Oh, this is tough because I've got two spells and I can't decide which one. We're gonna do the smarter of the two. We're gonna cast Wither and Bloom. Um,
Ooh.
so this area just erupts, and I will need a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah, I can do
Um,
that.
as I will also be spending uh some of my hit die that I can now spend to perfect 8.
That'll be, where's this con? 15.
That is a failure. I will roll damage after I add the 18 points of healing that I just got to do. Cool, because that was bad. We were doing real bad. Um, and that will then be okay. 3, 6, 9, 18
18.
points of necrotic. So like this smoke starts to pour out, and you just see like just for this moment where the smoke like hits the creature, the color like fades a little bit, I assume, before just like kind of rushing back to normal. But there's definitely this sense of, and like as that happens, like some of this like energy kind of rushes back to Eden. We're definitely playing with some life and death things.
The
That's my
coloration
turn.
almost becomes muted. Yeah.
But that is the extent of my turn because I'm also not stupid and going to provoke attack of opportunity this time.
Perfect.
But we are standing firm, playing with life magics, and that
Hell
is
yeah.
Oh,
All right. With that, Fanara. See you.
Well, I don't know about all the death stuff, but I know that my friends are gonna live. And then with that, bonus action. We're moving that spiritual weapon to basically the one that's closest to herself and Eden and Art, basically to do the swatty swat action. Smack this thing with
Roll for swattage.
the spiritual force of Avandra. Does a 17 hit?
A 17 will hit.
Oh, woo! I was worried about that one. All right, okay, all right.
No, they're just babies.
11 of that spiritual radiant
Smackage.
damage, force damage. Yeah, the smackage.
Avandra comes in again, walks up behind, and just smacks straight
Wham!
across the back of the head. And a little bit of bug guts on her hand still, but puts a nice little crack in the carapace in the back of this thing's head. That's
Is
your
it,
bonus
is it
action.
still?
Oh, it is.
Is it still?
It is still alive,
Okay, how's
yes.
it looking?
It looks better than the one that's dead.
You know what? Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So she's gonna do the same thing she did again. Pow pow. So this time it's just that smack, flame on. We're doing blessed strike again with
That's gonna
her
be
sacred flame.
a 17.
That
to
does
say.
beat it though. So yeah.
So
But
as
at least the 11
as
hit.
the smack hits across the head, it recognizes the 1-2 that was done to its sibling, and like immediately kind of like arches its back and pulls the body up to the ceiling as this beam of light this beam of radiant energy just in the center of where it used to be, and then it folds back down.
it. That's it.
Oak, to you.
Okay. So there's still one on the ceiling?
No, the one that's on the ceiling is the one that's left. Yes, but it's
Okay.
like not really on the ceiling because it's like hanging by like the bottom third, and then the top third top 2/3 is hanging down, biting it.
Okay. Is there
You can
anyone
feel it.
directly underneath it?
Directly underneath it. No.
Okay. I want to cast Moonbeam.
All right.
So, 5-foot cone that will go up and down the whole length of the cavern
Perfect.
will be a.
Is it when it's cast and when it starts its turn, or is it just one or the other?
Enters the spell's area first time on a
Okay.
turn.
So then this would be at the start of its turn that this would come into effect. Cool. Beam of light shines down. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Oh, dang. All right, cool. I see you. Well, it's its turn, and it started its turn there. So con save for that is gonna. Wow, are you kidding me? That's gonna be a 12.
No. So
Go ahead and roll your. Go ahead and roll
in
your
this
damage
like
for that.
silvery light that sort of almost makes it look grayish, you could see sort of flames around it, and it gets 2d10 damage. Which I didn't roll great, so it's 7 damage, 7 radiant damage.
7 radiant. It dodged the first. It dodged that first radiant beam, but as this thing is placed now inside of it, or around it, it feels that same sting that its sibling once did, and it. Now it's in a precarious spot. It is going to. I think sensing that. I'm gonna roll for bug smarts. All right, bug not smart. It's gonna instead. No, this annoying pink thing is still hurting the fuck out of it. So it's gonna attempt to bite you again, Eden.
I figured.
That's cocked. That's a 19.
Yeah. I'm a druid now. I don't have stuff anymore
Sheev! Woo!
like that.
Don't like the sound of that.
Oh, that's
Those
the
are
second-
not good sounds.
That's the second time I've rolled a 10 on that die, so.
Okay.
That's gonna be 22 points of piercing.
Mm-hmm.
And
This is why I healed myself, guys.
and 12 points of fire damage.
Or I would be dead.
As it bites into you and just
If I had
almost
not.
like burns the flesh that it takes from you. Before kind of recoiling back. Yes, Art.
I totally forgot it was supposed to take damage at the start of its turn.
Yeah, go ahead and roll damage.
Six Bernie acid.
6 Bernie acid. Perfect. With that, it's going to. It's gonna back up out of this moonbeam.
Okay, if it moves out of reach, how far away was it from me?
From you, you were right in its face. So
Oh,
5 feet.
then, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna hit it.
Yeah. Go ahead and make a melee attack on it.
I'm really good at those now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually not bad at those still. That's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20 will hit.
Are you ready for this killer damage? Oh shit, I rolled 4 on my d4, so that is 8.
8. As what are you using? You're using your flail thing?
My club.
Your
No, I don't
your-
have the flail
Oh, you don't have
anymore.
the flail anymore?
No.
Remember, I
You-
just deconstructed it
Oh,
to
you're
do
right.
the whole. I
Right.
kept, yeah.
Hey, that's
You-
more damage than Fanar would punch or hit.
Swing
Except-
out with the club, and as it
But
cracks,
this is a bad idea.
it cracks the carapace. You watch as some of this orange goo comes flying out of the crack and over your skin, and you take 7 points of fire damage.
Yeah, I forgot about that. But Eden didn't know that, so
It is then going to. It's going to actually drop from the ceiling, and is going to move toward you, Fanara, or not Fanara, toward you, Oak, with Owlbear there. And with that, we go to Art.
Does it pass by me, or does it like just
No,
also
it
be in
stays
range of me?
it'll be. You'll have to cross like around the fire to get to where. Oh shit! No, you're right there in the middle.
Yeah, because I'm right in the middle, and
Then
they
it
were
would square.
behind
It would.
me.
It would square up with you. Then it wouldn't. It would like drop
Okay.
and then like turn and realize that you're there instead of Oak, and it'll just kind of be stuck between a rock and a hard place, I guess.
Okay.
Because it didn't realize that either. But it goes to Art.
Okay, so Art's going to reach into another one of his pockets and is going to pull out a small vial with anyone who's able to read it sees in very hastily scrawled writing liquid skunk, and is going to hurl this over at said insect. And it needs to make a dex save.
What spell are you using?
It's acid splash.
Okay, you're doing acid splash again. Okay, cool. I was like, is
Well,
this a thing that I
last one
gotta
was-
be?
Last one was Tasha's. This is acid splash.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, Tasha? Yeah, no, that would make sense. This is a dex save you said?
Dex save.
18.
18 will succeed, which I believe negates damage. Yep,
Oh, because it's just a cantrip. Gotcha.
it's just a
Yeah.
cantrip. Yeah.
You hurl it, and for a second, it like just whizzes by the head. Corvus, you get a quick whiff of skunk, before the can just kind of clinks to the ground and doesn't really explode at all.
Yeah, I need to work on that formula.
Anything for your bonus action? Art.
Problem is that turn order is a factor, so that's not gonna actually be helpful. So, nope. That's I'm just gonna hang tight.
Perfect. With that, we go to the top of the round. Corvus, to you.
Okay. With the fact that it's this close, Corvus was getting like kind of ready, preparing, kind of postures up and takes a moment and is going to focus on the breeze that is entering this chamber. And I'm going to use bonus action patient defense. Yeah, patient defense. And is just going to take like a 2 steps back to get 10 feet away. It'll prompt an opportunity attack if it wants to do so.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that'll be
And it'll be at disadvantage because dodge.
Yeah, that doesn't hit. That's a 13.
Okay. And with the 10-foot distance, I'm going to go with the punches.
All right. Go for it.
That's 23 for the first one for 7 points of damage.
7 points.
Of force to specify. And the second strike is 26 to hit for 8 points of force damage.
8 points. As you pop into this thing, 1, 2, your fist slamming into it and cracking it open like you did the other, you can start to see a little bit more of that wear and tear that your friends have put into it as it is starting, as it is looking pretty hurt for its size.
And then I'm going to re-enter its space to block off from getting close. So I basically I stepped away, did those punches, and I'm gonna step back into its melee to block it off from Oak and the companion.
Probably.
Corvus has not paid attention to this companion's name. Companion.
This companion. No. Perfect. I'm gonna check one thing real quick.
And I believe dodge lasts. Yeah, it's gonna last until the end of the start of my next turn.
Correct. Yeah. Perfect. And that's all for you. As you punch, you kind of like back up, punch, move over to the side, step back in, trying to confuse and like maneuver around this creature. Eden, it goes to you.
Okay. I see this movement, all of these things. Eden will still, in spite of not being a barbarian, will still become like notably angry. But will just again like release this like smoky breath and like says something in Sylvan that I guess whoever speaks Sylvan would just simply be like Eden just keeps muttering in a very low just keeps muttering the word blight. And we're gonna cast blight on this creature as this breath of smoke just kind of hurls towards it. I will need a Constitution saving throw. Don't let this be when you roll good.
I was muted. That's a 22.
22. It does succeed, but you will still take half. Half of 45.
45. Oh, half of 40? What? Holy what? Half of Jesus. So what, 22?
Yeah.
Oh my god. And what does this blight look like as it connects with this creature?
So Eden just continues to say this, and as this like connects, like the the fuller parts of the creature and like the carapace just start to like literally wither and like dehydrate as wherever this smoke like hits this creature, like clearly sapping the life and vitality as it hits. Yeah.
You see and you watch as it begins to kind of crack, and the carapace doesn't even at this point like crack, it more of like flakes and peels away, um, especially at the points that have already been hit by your friends, as this thing just looks and its face kind of turns lethargically. There are parts of it that are just kind of peeling away slightly, um, but yeah, it's looking real fucked up now.
I really wish I had bonus actions that could do stuff. Because I don't think you can, like, I don't think you have to. Yeah, and I'm not going to kill myself. No, we're good. Uh, yeah, that's all I can really do right now. Sadly, I really want to finish this fucker. And then Eden will just kind of like look back at Art and Finn. Like she definitely looks dazed a little bit, and then we'll look back for kind of wobbling a little bit. But that is my turn.
All right. With that, goes to Finn. What would you like to do?
Okay, you said this thing is it's rough, or are we talking about like, oh, it's taking some hits, but it's not that
No,
rough?
like it's looking rough with a capital R. I don't know why I said that. I don't know.
Fantastic. I think that Fan, seeing that obviously the damage that's been done to Eden, I think I'm starting to understand this whole death thing. And then when she says that, guiding bolts at second level, because we want to make sure that this is like really gonna be dead.
All right, go ahead and make your attack roll.
And she's angry.
Yeah, go ahead and make
Yep.
your attack roll.
All right.
You got this, friend.
Okay. Let's see. All right. Okay. That is, I'm pretty sure 22 should hit.
A 22 does indeed hit.
All right, let's get this 5d6 damage going. 1 second, please, while I collect.
I'm praying for like all ones right now. It's not gonna matter, but
How's 19 points of damage?
19 points of damage.
Radiant.
Fanara, what does your guiding bolt look like as it kills this creature?
So for this, I think that it's a little different from before. It's going to be more like basically the force of like almost a whirlpool to basically rip this thing with the force of like almost like this kind of, even though it's radiant, it looks like the ocean, the waves just basically crushing this thing and tearing it apart in this whirlpool, as basically it's being ripped to shreds as the whirlpool basically then goes away. So it's just in bits. That's how I picture it. This blue just energy of waves and just like looking like the ocean that's just like circling around this thing, just shredding it.
And as this thing is left to nothing more than a bug splatter on the ground, the soft fading of the light that Avandra gives you when you cast the spell fading from it, both of these are dead and dying on the ground. Art.
I make sure I collect a sample.
Sure.
Oh, instantly, Fanara seeing the state, because I'm assuming Eden is still messed up. Am I correct?
Oh, Eden is super messed up at this point and is like barely standing there, but is still like breathing deep and is like kind of swaggering, but is just like still dead set on the two beasties, but is just like, and I would think like the moment like they actually fall, then Eden just kind of like falls to her knees and like sits down. I'm really tired.
Oh no. Okay, all right. Okay, hold on, hold. I'm here.
Oh,
And basically third level, we're doing cure wounds automatically on Eden.
Nice. That's good. On a scale of 1 to 67, I'm sitting at 12.
Yeah, we're gonna do this for now. Let's hope for a long rest. I don't know. Now, is it me that rolls for the 3d8 plus 5?
Yep.
All right.
One more hit and I would have been dead,
Wait,
Steve.
oh, that was the wrong. Hold on 1 second. That was 10, not correct. Okay.
Again.
Okay, that's 19 plus 5.
Perfect.
Is that 24? And am I doing maths right?
Yeah. Cool.
We can math. It's fine.
We're good here, guys. Yeah.
Are you
Less
okay?
less bleeding. Oh,
Yeah. There we go.
I'm so sorry, Eden.
It's okay. Are y'all good?
That was really amazing with the clouds and the whew. We're gonna have to talk later. I'm curious what that was.
Corvus is checking the rest of the cave for any possible alternative access points in case there's other creatures.
Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
I was also gonna say that Oak was gonna just like sweep the moonbeam towards the back just to see if anything else gets detected.
And that's
You
a
sweep-
21 for investigation too.
Across the back. All right. The combined power of your searching and Oak's moonbeam kind of sweep. There are a couple holes, like burrowed or either into this cavern or out of this cavern, that you can see as points where these creatures could potentially come in. But kind of glancing in them and around them, you don't see any sign that one would come, at least right now. But other than that, there's the moonbeam doesn't pick anything up, and you have no suspicion of being attacked by these creatures, at least for now.
I need a nap. Also, Oak, is your friend okay?
Oh my goodness. Oh yeah.
And as oh, go ahead.
No, that's just like oh my, like that's just Fanara in her hectic state.
He begins to kind of sit up and just kind of like he sits more upright and like leans his back up against the wall of the cave. And I'll be all right for now. Oak Oak has healed me enough.
So you're the owlbear that's not an owlbear?
Yes, and like as he's saying that, he's like already like refastening the cloak. Like you watch as he is fluffing the cloak over the fire for a second, and then like even manifests a little bit of fire and like is like already kind of doing maintenance and trying to make the leather a little bit more flexible before putting it back on over his shoulders. Yes, I'm Owlbear.
Good. We've been looking for you. And yep. Eden kind of just like leans over.
Did
You need healing, Eden?
I'm okay. I'm feeling about 50-50. I think I just need to
That
take
sounds
a
like you
minute.
need healing.
I mean, I have some more.
No, if we rest for a
10
little
points
bit.
of lay on hands.
Gotcha.
Art,
Art's
what did
gonna
you?
take
Art,
a moment
what did you-
to scoop up a collection of snow to make a makeshift like bench or stump of some sort for Eden to be able to sit on.
Okay.
Anyway, I was just saying if we take a relatively short time to rest, I think I'll be all right.
It looks like you both need enough rest between the two of you.
And Corvus just goes to the fire and kind of sets the sword and just sits to get some warmth and just kind of soft meditates.
So wow, cold, huh? That's wild.
I also just realized Owlbear called you like in my head. Owlbear called you.
Oh
Oak,
yeah, that's right.
and
Probably.
he would have 100% called you Orchid.
Yeah.
And he's just gonna kind of grab your arm again, I grab your arm and say, did you deliver to Minthable the
Yeah,
package?
I did. They, gosh, that feels like a lifetime ago now. Um, but yeah, they're the ones who sent me here, and they did say that they would see what they could do, pretty much. I feel like that was pretty much what they said they were gonna do, but that they would
No,
answer.
they were mustering an army.
They were, yeah, right.
Yeah.
It felt like we don't know how much will help. I don't know. It felt so there was something
They
sort
were
of
they
wishy-washy about what they're doing, but they're like they were gonna answer the call. Yeah, they're answering the call.
good. Good. Um Good work, Orchid. Um I'm
Oh,
guessing you're
Eden will just make a really like messed up ass face at him, because Eden will have already gone. That's not your.
Adarin gave me a new name. It's Oak now. Isn't that cool?
you he places his hand on your shoulder and you watch for a minute as his eyes kind of glow like a slight almost like a silver. That's more fitting.
I thought
It's more
so
fitting.
too. Also, I got some hints about my parentage. That's wild, but
What do
you
you
never knew, right?
No. No,
Apparently,
they told me you were an orphan from back home. Well, the material plane. And
yeah. Apparently, the not orc half is a fae who disappeared and was important enough that Relgath got involved. Weird, right?
interesting.
Right,
He-
that's
he-
what I thought. And maybe from the summer court specifically. I let this one fairy taste my blood and they said it tasted like I was from the summer court. That was probably pretty reckless of me. But anyway, um,
It would explain why you chose the name Oak over Orchid.
would it?
The Oak Lord does preside over the summer court.
Huh. I'm dumb. Did I know that?
You do now.
Okay. Man, I feel like I know
I mean,
so
you probably would have known. You probably would
I
have
probably
known
would
that.
have known, right?
I mean, at the time that you chose your name, probably wouldn't have been something you thought of, though.
Yeah. I hadn't
Yeah.
thought about that. I didn't know I was from the summer court yet. Um, but anyway, Ivy, that's why we're here. You had a plan, right? Coming here? Coming all the way here? You had a plan? What's the plan? Shining eyes of someone who has not acknowledged that this is an imperfect human.
I had a plan and then stumbled into this. And I don't. I can heal, but if you're here, those at Minfable thought that you were capable of coming here for the purposes of saving your sister, then maybe I should go back and see what's going on back home.
Oh, um,
I came because I didn't know if they would send you.
that's fair. Do you have like a specific plan for how to negotiate with the Winter Court? Because I really don't know that much about them.
I was gonna go in and turn into a giant owlbear and rip them all to shreds until they gave me what I wanted. Or I
That's
died.
not.
You see
That's not
Corvus
gonna
kind
work.
of stir a bit hearing that, like kind of glances over with a
Eden
smile,
Eden locks eyes with Corvus. Like,
rolls eyes, goes back to the fire.
That was the whole plan?
I think that's what Perrin would have called aggressive negotiations.
and that
Sounds like a
Dulles
good plan.
Dulles would have called it suicide.
Nah, I'm sure he thought that through. Owlbear's crazy powerful.
That's great, but these people are snide negotiators. They like value and are selfish.
Can't be too much about values if you're being dismembered. Pokes the
Does
flame.
Corvus like this plan, or does Corvus?
I wouldn't have negotiated with them over trifle things. The second that they tried to be snide, try to walk around the issue, would have been when I attacked. They have one of my daughters. Or what's left of her, at least. And you can see, like at that point, like he just kind of stops and stares into this fire. The fire. His jaw gets tense.
We're going to get her back. That's what Oak wants. And therefore, we're gonna do.
Right. I just realized I should introduce you to everyone. This is Eden of the Briar. She's really cool. She can change into animals just like you. And she's been a great companion. This is Corvus. He's a baron. I thought he was a prince, but he wasn't a prince. He was a
Barbo.
baron. And anyway, he's also really strong and cool. Kind of cagey sometimes. And then this is Art. He's my little buddy. He was the one who met me. We got thrown in prison together after my ship fell apart into pieces and I almost drowned. And then I got kidnapped by pirates and was thrown into a dungeon. But then these folks helped break me out. Everything was fine. Don't worry about it. And this is Fedara.
Hello.
She's really great. And
He like sees you doing that and just kind of leans over and just like, you know, you can be honest.
She's a follows Avandra.
Very nice.
I
You
sure
changed
do.
her.
Yes.
We've seen many who walk her path. Where we're from.
Oh, that's amazing.
A little
I hope to
traveling.
meet them.
Well, if things go well here, then you probably will, because you'll have to come, hopefully, deliver your sister.
Right. Well, she's in the spring court, right? That's where you left her.
Oh, you're right. I did leave her there. I thought I left her back at
Been a
home.
long journey, right?
It's been. How many days has it been?
Many days. Almost. It feels like months.
How long
though.
have you?
Time
How long
moves
have
so
you
differently
been?
here.
How long have you been following me?
It's hard to say, but at least a week.
Maybe, yeah.
I must have fell asleep somewhere. The boundaries, and he kind of like points back toward where the graying is. Those are some messed up magics.
I find them weirdly comforting. Thank you very much.
And you're weirdly.
Hmm?
And you see as Corvus actually takes a moment and just pauses and just. Can we figure out what to do so we can go?
Well, we're gonna rest by the fire first, right?
Yes.
But
At least briefly, please.
Get your rest.
Everyone needs some rest.
Get your rest. I will rest as well. In the morning, I leave the task of bringing your sister's soul back to you. And I'll go back to deal with the Zinther.
right.
We still have a war to fight.
Yeah.
Oh, Stefan. So confirming we still don't have a plan for what we do when we get to the court, yes? Pokes the flame.
I would say let us try to negotiate in some way, shape, or form. Do we even know who possesses this essence specifically?
From what I've been able to learn while I've been here. While the Queen of Winter is the one in charge of all of the shards that are brought in, her son, Prince of Frost, is the only one who collects them on her behalf.
Does he also have no? I was gonna say, does he have annoying henchmen that try to go and fuck with things they shouldn't, and over by mage towers, or is that just?
I don't know.
No, that was just me being a successful.
Okay, so
Prince of Frost then is who we're looking for.
possibly.
More than likely, at least we'll have some sort of insight.
We
Okay.
get to collect them, though. That means they can be found and used by other people?
Question.
I
I
don't.
need to know if Dulles said anything about the Prince of Frost.
Go ahead and roll a intelligence check.
More importantly, has Dolus sent me a package yet?
How would that? You're in the fucking Feywild, my dude.
You tell
Yeah.
me Dolus has no way to figure out how to get to the Feywild.
Quit harassing my buddy.
Dolus just pops in. Hey, here's your package. Pops out.
I don't know. Drops it through in a rift with a zombie or
Feywild
something.
Postal Service.
Yeah.
Quit harassing my
dead
pen
body
pal.
just comes up from the ground. Here's your mail. Just goes back in the
Decomposes.
ground. Can you
Oh, yeah.
What
cover
service
dirt,
would you like to
please?
deliver with? Air, ground, or Fey?
Oh, my
It
God.
was only a 10.
Only a 10? No. Not that you were paying attention to, at least.
Okay.
The Winter Court is matriarchal. Everything runs from the Queen and her daughters. Prince of Frost is an errand boy with a title.
But this means that that's leverage. This is how we need to be thinking going into this. What can we use to persuade or charm them? This is how these people, if what Dulles said is right, this is how they operate. The Fae are only as powerful as what they can bargain with. And they love playing games.
Regicide works too.
Mm,
Well, is this Prince
That
of
was
Frost?
that was my idea, to be honest. Cut off the head, you cut off the body.
Well, what I'm wondering is, in battle, sometimes people try to turn people against one another. Is that like a certain thing that we could do? Maybe, I don't know if Prince of Frost is upset that he's just a errand boy. Maybe he desires a more legitimate title and place within the court.
but that's exactly it. If we can use this kind of, maybe we can kind of go that route and offer assistance.
And don't forget our secondary objective of the person who's maybe more powerful than the Queen of Frost, who the Lord of Bones didn't want to use her name lest you draw her attention. That would have info on the missing friend.
But is also probably the most evil thing ever.
Well,
Why
right, but
are you... No. You are not here for her.
oh, you
We're
know
here.
who she is?
Do not.
I know of her, and even I, in my infinite wisdom and strength, would not go anywhere near her.
I would like to make a point that your infinite strength failed you.
Corvus.
Listen,
Corvus, you can't just tell people.
they came out of nowhere, and they ganged up on me.
Also, they were
and I'm
pretty
only
tough.
one- I was also a penguin at the time. Well, almost a penguin at the time.
You can
couldn't
use what defense
change
you
it.
want. Your strength seemed
Okay,
finite.
but this person, along with other most powerful Fae, locked up an immensely powerful being. Okay, I don't really want to be put in any sort of Fae prison either. Okay.
Okay, but wasn't she the key to resurrecting Perrin? The information
Yeah,
that she had?
that's also too what I was thinking. I mean,
Who's
I'm
Baron?
sorry. That
Uh,
my brother. He's very important to me, to all of us, and right now he is not amongst the living. at least for now. But he sort of is. Well, it's complicated.
Essentially, the Lord of Bones killed him, and he's
Wait,
keeping his body.
you talked to the
We
who?
actually fought with him.
Some
Yeah.
of us.
You watch as like his face goes from being like what the fuck to like looking at you with like some like there's this just immense look of like glow of pride in his eyes, and he's just,
Yeah. So basically, he kidnapped Finara and Art, and then so we all had to go to his court, and then or wait, was it?
No, it was Art that was held captive, and
Yeah,
then
he was duped.
yeah,
He tried to pick you up, tried to snatch you, but
tried. Mm.
anyway,
Perrin died trying to fight him.
But he's not technically dead. He's
No,
just
well, no,
because
he's
I have
sort
to
of
kill him, so we need to bring him back.
Corvus.
He mostly dead.
you
Whatever.
have some very interesting friends.
definitely they're really cool.
What does
But-
that mean?
It means you're weird.
Look who's talking with your shiny boots.
Yeah, they kept my feet warm.
I have Perrin boots, and those are
Which,
better than
speaking
your
of which,
stupid
let me
shiny
just-
boots.
Double check. Okay, good. They still match.
But anyway, so he basically wouldn't let us go without killing one of us because he wanted us to feel as empty and horrible as he did. But he said that if we found out where his friend went, what happened to the friend that left him with such a gaping hole in his heart, that he would resurrect Perrin. I don't understand the snicker. I do, but okay. And so he said that that person, that woman, was probably the one who knows what happened.
Yeah, we take a prince, eliminate a queen, usurp a witch, something of the sorts.
Mm.
But is there anything you can tell us about her? He was so vague on the details. Sounds like it was kind of a suicide mission, which makes sense given everything, but
About wait, who am I talking? Whom do you want me to talk about?
The person,
the
he told
person-
us
the
The
one you
infinite strength.
want to tangle with.
Oh,
Oh,
the
sorry.
one. You mean
That one, yes.
say a name or something.
Don't say the name.
she is the harbinger of shadow and chaos here in the Feywild. She is the queen of the entire Unseelie court, which, if you didn't kill the Lord of Bones, means that you probably won't kill her.
I wasn't
I'm
there,
not
so
saying we kill her. We need to talk to her.
You need,
Yeah,
but
that-
you're for what? For the purpose of finding out why the Lord of Bones has a gaping hole in his chest.
he lost a friend or something.
Correct. And maybe we can try to, I don't know,
So you
bring that friend back if the friend
Or-
isn't actually.
Maybe.
Unless the friend
Strike
ran
a-
away.
Strike a bargain with her in exchange for a seat of power and trade off somebody and then.
and what seat of power would that be?
Oh, nothing. I just won't be an archfey.
Yep.
She's
You
got
do
her-
realize if you want something from her, you're going to have to give her something.
Or
Yeah, that's
someone.
fine.
Well, she likes chaos, so we could think about that.
Mhm.
Um,
Anyways, just brainstorming.
just try not to forget, our fallen comrade, and yeah.
And
Also, I have a sneaking suspicion that the person that is missing maybe is my father. That's kind of I don't know. It's wild speculation, really. Just a weird coincidence.
Yeah,
Something.
he kept saying weird stuff to you, and it was very targeted, if I'm honest. Like it just
Right?
seemed very specific.
Families are weird.
Tell me about it.
I just want my family back.
Yeah,
We all
we're gonna do
do.
what we can for Nara.
We'll get him back, Finara, one way or another.
Hooks the flame. So we go attempt a negotiation. If it doesn't work,
Then we do your way.
that's all I needed to hear.
But
Zero.
yes, it's the stupid way. But if at any point anybody's life is dwindling, we run. Yes?
How fast could you cast the the
The scrolly thingy?
mhm.
I don't know. Let me see how fast can I cast planar shift. Let's find out. Let me look beyond.
Look at the scroll. Read
Look
Nolus's
beyond.
notes.
Well, and then
It's just
also
there's
too.
just a middle finger in the middle of the scroll.
Oh my
Oh
god.
shit. Oh, it's an action.
Hmm.
It's an
Okay.
action?
It's an
Yeah.
action, but it's also what level spell is it?
It's a 7th level, but I
And
have
what-
a spell scroll.
And what level is it a spell you know on your list?
It can be
We'll
as
talk
far as
about
a
Yeah, if you
as
have
far
if
as
you have
druidism.
if you have access to it, then you should be fine.
Like, I mean, I don't currently because I can't cast 7th level spells, but if
It's
I
on my spell
recall,
list.
plane shift is on my
Shut
spell
the
list.
hell up, Jay.
It is on my spell list. I'm just not of a level to cast it.
Can somebody Avandra smack him, please? God.
Yvonne smack.
You're the GM. I mean,
Avandra's like
No,
Corvus.
Avandra's just standing behind Corvus the whole time, like, why I oughta.
Anyways, if we can cast the spell, it's a very powerful spell, but it's one action. It's 6 seconds basically. For some reason, it's very specific. Most of my spells operate in this way, and it takes me 6 seconds to accomplish most of my basic actions.
yeah.
Okay.
So what I mean, so in the absolute extreme case, that's at least available.
Or
Um,
I
And also
turn
too,
into
Lord
a
of
bird.
Bones gave me a bone. Literally. So, I can always make that deal if need be.
Yeah, I could also maybe try to call on aid from if it would prove advantageous. It might actually show up to help us, but it would have to be in a position where he would see a direct line of success for himself.
Or I can just paint this palace of ice and snow as red as I can.
This is also true.
Like,
How do you know it's red and not like black or something?
Even better.
Also, I'm not quite sure how painting the palace is going to help us in this situation.
it's a metaphor.
oh,
Oh, one of those double meaning things. Okay.
Owlbear, like, to take Eden's remark, will lean down and so who is she referring to? Like, this is while the conversation is happening,
yeah.
just whispering in your ear.
A fae that got locked up named Lirin?
Explode.
Never heard of him.
I don't know. He was trying to unite the Graying and rose up against the courts and then failed and got locked up in some sort of like pocket dimension, it seems like, and that's where she grew up.
You know, I always just assumed it was like that because, well, they needed a border, right? Can't constantly be button up against your neighbor. But I guess that makes more sense now.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if the Graying was there before or not, or if...
Would explain what the spider told me.
What did the spider tell you? What spider?
Well, they're two different characters. We can call them because we all know this is a Feywild. They're people, but they're personas as well. The spider is like a librarian of sorts. He tells stories already written. He talked about how eventually, well, he said that there was somebody locked away who may come back.
Mhm.
And that's this Lyran?
I guess so.
He
I don't
looks
know
over
about-
he looks over at you, Eden. This
Yeah.
Liren is this person locked away who is going to come back.
Um, maybe. It said something about I have to go back in order to open the door. I don't know what that means. I'm not going back yet. It's a whole long story. And
You
but
and he just kind of settles in and just kind of nods, like is like he's soaking it in at this point.
I don't know if Laren is really trustworthy or if I'm being used, frankly, and all signs point to I'm pretty stupid for trusting people sometimes. So reality probably just tells me one thing, right?
I think you have
And
pretty good judgment with us.
yeah, you look pretty cool.
You guys
And we,
get sleep if you need it. Get rest. I can take watch if you'd like.
hmm.
You look like you need rest more than half of us. I didn't take any damage.
Well, I was gonna also say, we have to save your sister before worrying about
I
opening gates.
I just need to get home.
Are you gonna leave right now?
When you move on the palace, I will move back home.
Okay.
Let's
I-
get
I-
some rest though right now. I can stay up and watch over you. Make sure you're okay.
We could take it in shifts to make sure everybody gets adequate rest.
But Eden, you're in pretty bad shape. I think you need to definitely get as much rest as possible.
Cleaning the blood from
Hmm.
We're
I'll
all
take
right.
first watch.
I'll do the same.
Are there any boulders or anything that we could stop up those holes in the back of the cave?
Where?
Yeah, I assume those were where those things burrowed in. I don't know if
And
there's more. If it was
when
just for
when
those.
you point them out, Owlbear will walk over and touch the rock near it and just kind of like look almost like he's grabbing and like pulling like a door, but he'll go and close those holes up,
Nice. Okay, at least it'll be really
moving some of
fast
the earth
if I
around.
burrow in.
Art starts putting away all of the ducks that he had excitedly pulled out of his pockets.
If we are taking a long, is a long rest what we're about to do here?
Mechanically speaking, you guys can take a short rest here.
That's alarming.
hmm
Okay.
Yeah, because my big spells are spent.
Mm-hmm.
Even with a short rest, I have a request during our rest period if that's something we're doing right now.
Yep, we can. You know what? Can you wait until next session?
I don't mind waiting. It's gonna
Is
be
it-
a doozy if it works.
Is it? Yeah, is it something that I would potentially have to prepare for?
And depending on how you want to respond to it, maybe.
Okay, why don't we talk about it in the interim then?
Okay.
All right. You pull a couple watches. That way, all of you can get an adequate short rest while still keeping aware of your surroundings. And where we'll pick up is at the start of that. But yeah, thank you guys for a wonderful first session back in 2024. I'm excited. I'm excited to get into the palace and do some fun shit. Dude, fuck you saying that wasn't something I would have to prep for, first of all. But yeah. Sorry, Jaden sent me a message that told me what he wanted to do, and yeah, he's right, it is a doozy. But yeah, we're going to quickly go around the horn, let all my friends introduce themselves and what they do, and then we're going to call it a night. Starting with the wonderful Eden of the Briar.
Oh, hey. Hi, everybody. My name is Eden sometimes, but most of the time it's Taryn or also Val Rook across the socials, in the chat, and all over the place. I am also a dice maker under the moniker of Umbrella Oculus Dice_dice on the Instagram. I will be taking like a month of not dice making after spending the last year and a half making dice for a Kickstarter. So that will be even more silent than it has been. But that's okay because I'm coming back with a new font, new dice styles. It's going to be awesome. I'm excited. I am currently on Modifius Twitch on Mondays where I play a good old boy synth sport. Check that out because I play with amazing people, one of which is here. I'm also working on TTRPG things and we'll finally have time to dig into that. I am excited. Look forward to running more horror games sometime this year as well. So if you like horror, check it out.
Art.
Hey everyone, Discount Bard here, your humble vaudevillian vagabond of an entertainer. I'm a voice actor, actor. I do live streams when I'm not being a busy adult, and hopefully going to be getting back to that soon. I do sessions like these here and on other channels, and you can follow all my shenanigans at Discount Bard on all the various social networks, and also sometimes I do content on TikTok, so follow me all the places. I do things. Sometimes it's fun. Let's pass it along.
Hello, everyone. I'm Utahime. You can find me on all the social medias at UTAHIME. Utahime Cosplay pretty much everywhere except on the app formerly known as Twitter. You can find me at Brianna DeCoster on there. I'm up to lots of shenanigans, tabletop shenanigans, cosplay shenanigans, and hopefully soon getting back to the streaming shenanigans. So definitely, if you want to see what I'm up to, check out my social media. I usually try to post as much as I can on everything. I have been slacking a little bit because I've been very busy this past season, doing a lot of convention fun stuff, which actually reminds me, I should remind all of you guys, if you did not already see my socials, I am going to be at MagicCon in Chicago, my hometown. I'm coming back, baby. So please, if you want to check out that amazing convention, it's going to be my first time. I'm also very new to Magic. So please bear with me. I'm learning all the things in addition to also to preparing an amazing cosplay that you will get to see. It's a debut. I can't tell you guys anything yet, but again, check the socials and maybe you'll see some snippets. I don't know. I can't tell you right now, but that's in February. Also my birthday month. So yay me. So stay tuned for all that fun stuff. Again, Mondays, you'll catch me over on Modifius. Also too playing with Taryn as Crazy Magdalena Suarez, our child of Adam in our group that may or may not end up nuking everyone. We'll see. And I'm passing it down below.
That's me. I'm Lizzie Donahue. You can find me on social media at the LizzieLD. My social media is quiet because that's just the way it is. You'll mostly find me here on alternating Tuesdays, but you can follow me on social media to see where I might pop up. That's what I'm trying to say. All right. Last but not least.
Oh, that means it's me? Oh, hey, it's Jaden King. You can find me on all social media at It's Jaden King, doing all kinds of royal things, TTRPG related and otherwise. I've been a little quiet in TTRPG because I've been taking some time doing some video game work and narrative design and some other projects here and there, so we'll see how that turns out. But also, I'm expanding my stuff into a new game setting, system, and experience that I'm slowly rolling out and taking precious time to play test, world build, and refine to something I hope to be beautiful, and hopefully see if I can get my video game components to happen. So just know there's something over the horizon that's a little bit of grim, a little bit of hope. It's what happens when Kingdom Hearts meets Dark Souls in my most beautiful way. It's full of joy in the worst way possible. But if you like that stuff or just what I do, you can also check me out over on D&D in a Castle, where I'm running games in a castle in England. I've got the April session coming up. I think it might be full. I might be wrong. I always forget to check. There might be like a few seats left, but I'm always doing all kinds of stuff with D&D in a Castle and other awesome events. So just follow the socials, follow the journey, and be prepared for the royal year that is to come.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Well, friends, we're gonna go out and raid our friends at Art Hard Studios, who are playing some D&D right now. Give them some love.
Wait,
Buy
did
'em
you
a
shout
pint.
yourself out?
No, because I'm here and everybody knows that, and I do things when I want to do, and I
Who
don't
are
do
you?
'em- and I
But
don't
what
do
if
'em
I don't
most of
know
the
about
time.
something that's happening this week?
Then I don't. Well, but I don't even
Yeah,
know what's
sorry,
happening.
who
this
are
week.
you?
All right, thank you guys. Whatever.
Where are we?
I'm Logan, the innkeeper here at the Red Hair Inn. This week, I'm hopefully going to be doing some stuff in like the later evenings. I want to get back to doing some writing, so we're going to try to do that. But I've also been playing video games because that's where my ADHD brain takes me when I don't want to write. So, yeah, come hang out. There are some new projects that we'll be starting up, but they're projects that are going to be kind of behind the scenes for a little bit. As we get some stuff figured out and I learn how to do some new things. But yeah, that'll come later in the year. But yeah, we're gonna go raid Art Hard Studios. They're playing some D&D. Send them their love, send them our love, buy them a pint of ale. And until next time, friends, stay safe and remember, don't try to talk when you got an itch in the back of your throat. Bye, y'all.